welcome to Dr. Russ's Air Rifle Adventures, and I think we're going to have some fun today. We're going to compare 5 rifles. 4 are break barrels, 3 of them are Gamo. We'll throw in a Crosman, and then lastly an entry-level PCP. They'll all be shooting the same .22 caliber. They will all be shooting the same pellets, and I like heavy pellets because these break barrels really don't have a way to adjust power. At any rate, here's the one I think that started it all, the Whisper. You can see how high this is, and the magazine fits in it a little bit differently. And then in the Generation 2, we're gonna then go to this Magnum, which up to now has been my second favorite. Maybe it'll stay that, maybe it won't. Our third rifle will be this Generation 2, and this is the Magnum, supposedly the most powerful of the Swarm family. One of my first break barrels, not my first, but one of my first, was this Benjamin Titan. It's also a break barrel, and it's got a 20-inch barrel. I love 20-inch barrels. Gamos have it, and this Crosman has it. And then lastly, just for some comparison purposes, we're going to be doing some velocity, some groupings, and some penetrations. We'll throw in this Umrex Gauntlet, which also is in 22. And I think you might enjoy what we find out. So our first air rifle test will be this Gamo Whisper. And there's an FX chronograph on the end. And we're going to shoot 3 pellets into the upper left target that's down below me. What was the velocity of that one?
640.
How fast was that one?
638.
So this will be the third shot from this Gamo Whisper in the upper left. How fast was that one?
654.
Pretty tight velocity range. Okay, our second gun will be this Gamo Maxim. It's Generation 2. The Whisper was Generation 1. And we'll catch the speed and put a 3-shot group in our targets. What was the speed?
638.
Here goes our second shot from the Maxim. How fast?
661.
Oh, she jumped up. Here comes our third shot from the Maxim. Keep in mind that break barrels don't have regulators. Regulators make a complete, perfect, concise amount of air on each shot. You would think that break barrels would be regulated in that the piston in them would be drawing in the same amount of air and pushing it out. But not so. That last spread was a little bit high.
$6.59.
Now that was close. Our third rifle grouping will be this Gamo Magnum. They're all in 22 caliber. This is the Magnum. A lot harder to cock, and so we're expecting a Magnum amount of power and velocity. We'll see.
$8.37.
Ooh, picked up 200 feet a second. Okay, we'll shoot this Magnum 22 for the second time at the targets below.
.786.
Okay, high 700s. Okay, here comes our third shot with the Magnum 22.
.835.
Okay, this is the Crosman Trail. As you can see, it's a brake barrel, but it's not a mag shot or multiple shot. Crosman makes it. It's called the Mag-Fire, I think. My readings on it haven't caused me to buy it. I think one of the reasons was a shorter barrel. But this has a 20-inch barrel. Let's see what speed it has. Just the regular nitro piston that Crosman uses. What kind of speed?
652.
Boy, it's very similar to that Gamo.
638.
3 from this one.
645.
Okay, for our fifth and last rifle, we're using the Umrex Gauntlet. This is an entry-level PCP. In fact, the bottle of air is in here, and I understand they've actually used a bottle that's used in paintball guns. But whatever it was, they were able to get a regulator on it, and that's what I like about this particular gun. We'll see how a 3-shot group looks on it. .819, okay.
.814.
Oh, that's a tight group, a tight velocity. Here's our last shot.
.817.
Okay, very good. Okay, with these same 5 rifles, we're going to do a penetration test. Now, some people commented last time I did this that telephone books don't do well. No, I think they do very well. First of all, paper's made of wood. We don't have any problem seeing that a pellet can go through a 1-inch plank or thereabouts. But if you want a precision amount of penetration, all using the same pellet, I think a telephone book works quite well. For this penetration test, I'll start off with the Whisper. I'll be shooting right in the center of that. Second will be the Maxim, then the Magnum, finally the Trail, and lastly that Umarex PCP. And we'll then count how many pages. They've all got the same amount of humidity in them, if you will. So I think it makes a pretty good test. Some say, oh, you should have it 3 or 4 inches away. I don't know. Maybe one gun would be 2 inches away and one would be 4, and it wouldn't be fair. That's fair. The second gun to test is this Maxim. And I'll put it right on there. Okay, our third gun testing is this Magnum 22. Our fourth gun will be this Crosman Trail. Our fifth and last gun for this penetration test will be the Umrex Gauntlet. Well, now let's take all of this data that we've been shooting this morning and put it in a presentation. Here are our 6 maps. I think you'll remember the first generation Swarm put a nice group real tight right here, one of the best. And then the Maxim did a pretty good job here with 3. Our Magnum did the worst. As you can see, 3 holes here. Over here was the Benjamin Crosman Trail. Not a bad group. I left this middle target alone, and then I was shooting this last one with a PCP, an entry-level Umrex Gauntlet. The point being, 5 rifles. And I shot them into this phone book. And then I kept track of the group, the penetration, what the pellet looked like after I dug it out, average velocity, and the spread within that velocity. But before we get into that, I wanted Dr. Paula to check all of our numbers, and let me show you something else. So 6 or 7 weeks ago, we started working with all of you viewers on what you might want our logo to look like and what it was to say, even the colors. And well, as you can see, it's come a long way, baby. Our logo took the shape of a pellet. I think in the beginning we were looking at a shield, and with these colors. This happens to be a sticker card, but I'll bring that up in a minute. Just note for now, we have a large logo, a smaller. We have large print that says silent. As we put all this together, and I don't pretend to be an expert in this category, but it looks like we'll be in business around May 1st, shipping. Not in this video, but in the next one, I'll tell you how to call and what the pricing would be. But one thing about the pricing I wanted to share with you now. I think that t-shirts are like $21.50 a piece, and the hats $21.50. I'm sorry about that. You know, you probably buy a $10 cap in a store somewhere, but when you do this many colors and do this much embroidery and on the front and on the back, the cap came in at over $20, $21. But we're going to do some freebies. We're going to stick one of these in with each these vinyl. And I think if you want 3 of them, it's 3 of those placards. I think it's about 5. But where we really got nailed is any kind of shipping cost, postage cost, getting it from here to you. And we're just playing with numbers, but maybe $5.50 for shipping. But if you buy 2 items, a shirt and a hat, 2 shirts, 2 hats, get one for the spouse, girlfriend, a good friend, then it just went up $1 to like $6.50. And if you get 3, it's like $7.50. So we really saved a lot. And if you get 2, I think the price was right around $19 each, like $38 if you did 2. But I wanted to do something more than that, something more than some sticker freebies. You'll recall a video we did not long ago called Deal Breakers, and I think we had just under 20 items that I look at before I buy my next air gun. If it doesn't have certain things, it's a deal breaker for me. Well, no sooner did that video get out, oh, the viewers started sending theirs in. One I didn't have, but it means a lot to those of you who are southpaws, is will the air gun allow the bolt, the lever, to be reversed on the other side? And that was huge to a number of southpaw people. So that, and you're not going to believe it, but we came up with about 60, and the video had about 20. So we're going to print this on some nice parchment paper, and it doesn't matter if you're after springers or brake barrels or PCPs or CO2s. Your potential deal breakers are here. All you have to do is maybe take a black magic marker and take some items out. Yellow marker for those things that are true deal breakers for you. So all of that's coming, and I hope you enjoy it. 6 or 7 weeks ago, we asked you to help us with our logo. What shape should it take? What colors? What should it say? What animals or critters might be on it? And this happens to be one of these vinyl stickers. These peel off, and you stick them on something. If you don't like it, peel it off easily and put it someplace else. I'll be putting one of these on the back of my my truck window. Notice that one's large, one's a little smaller. Notice that this is small. I'm sorry, this is large, it goes with that one. That's small, it goes with that one, and goes underneath it. These logos further showed up on our hat. And you'll notice that we also got it embroidered on the back. And the color. Well, you know this Zelensky, who's president of Ukraine, he wears this army green t-shirt in everything he does. So I thought, you know, you all might have white t-shirts, black t-shirts at home. How many army green do you have? Marine green, U.S. combat military green. And so Dr. Paul and I put together 100 shirts, 100 hats, a couple hundred of these, and voila, our logo was born. So in addition to a military green hat and a military green t-shirt, we were able then to put the logo on the back of the shirt, and I think this important message on the front, where the hat has the logo on the front and the message on the back. That's the way we thought anyway. And we'll soon have a couple hundred of these available for you. Okay, Paul has gone over the numbers. We're again reviewing and comparing the Whisper, the Maxim, the Magnum, a Benjamin Trail, and a Umrex Gauntlet PCP. We're looking at the group of 3 shots. How many pages of a yellow phone book did they penetrate shooting the same pellet? What did that pellet look like when it was finally dug out of the phone book? What was the average velocity? And something that's important is, of all the velocity numbers, 3 shots, how much spread did we get between the fastest and the slowest? With some good numbers here that I think you will enjoy. That Gamo Whisper, first generation, had a group of 3 that was 9/10 of an inch from one cutting edge to the other of the 3 pellets. The gun I thought might be the best among the swarm was the Gamo Maxim. Not true. 1.5 inch spread at 30 yards. The Gamo Magnum was the worst. And this is where your deal breakers. Maybe penetration is a deal breaker for you. Maybe accuracy is not, or vice versa. So that's why we wanted all 5 measurements. That Crosman Trail was just a little bit over an inch. And a Umarex entry-level Gauntlet PCP was only 0.8 of an inch. The average velocity, 644 feet per second on the Gamo Whisper. On the Maxim, a little bit better, 653. Well, that Magnum obviously has a bigger piston, more powerful piston, 819. The Crosman Trail, which really compares to these other Swarm, since it's not a Magnum gun, was 645. You can see it comes right in with these. And the highest velocity, 819 for a Gamo, was pretty doggone close to this Umrex PCP. Now you'll remember, I'm not going for 1,200, 1,500 feet per second. I'm going for a sweet spot for accuracy. And you really can only do that with brake barrels by getting heavier pellets. The Umrex has a regulator, and I can adjust the power, and I want it to be 817 feet per second as the average velocity of the 3 shots. Now, the maximum spread in velocity, I think, is important. The Generation 1 Gamo Whisper was just 16 feet per second spread among its 3 shots. The Gamo Maxim was 23. Oh, this Magnum had a wide spread from its lowest to its fastest, 51 feet per second. The Crosman Trail, 14, pretty consistent. And because the Umarex has a regulator, only 5 feet per second. And this really helps with that grouping. The phone book penetration, how many pages? This kind of goes along with the average speed, but the Whisper, 476, faster than my Gamo Maxim, 740. I'm sorry, the Magnum is Maxim is much faster, 746. But the Magnum was the fastest, 857. The Crosman Trail, those 3 shots that I did, averaged 630. And the Umarex, 889. So there are the 4 adjustments that took place. Now you can understand why I wanted this deal breaker sheet to go with it, because it needs to be your deal breakers, not mine. Nonetheless, I hope we learned something here today. 5 different guns, 2 different type of guns, and different ways to measure just how well they shoot. If you thought you got some value out of it, be sure you give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to be on that first group that gets the next video. And I think the next video we're going to probably have our contact information on how you contact us if you thought you wanted a green shirt, or 2 or 3 of them. As you know, we don't take any money from anybody. I want these tests and results to be just as honest as they can be. And but Dr. Paula reminded me, we're 2.5 years into this, and about $25,000, believe it or not. So this is hopefully a way that'll help. We're going to find out when we see how this first group of military green shirts goes out. Subscribe, leave a comment. I answer them all. And remember to stay airgun safe, sharp, and silent.